Talking shit.
Welcome back to Talking Shit, a sports show presented by Sports Interaction, where we dive into the world of sports betting and talk about everything and anything except the actual games. I'm your host, Prince Huda, and I'm joined by my cast of all-star co-hosts. To my left, Sarah Pararia. How are you doing today, Sarah?
Hey, better. On the comeback, on the come up. Yeah.
Like it. I feel like everyone on this show has gotten sick at some point and battled through.
This one knocked me out. Not as long as Johnny. Luckily, it was like 2 solid days of death, but now I'm back, and I keep thinking about what Johnny said. Health is wealth.
Yes.
That's our mantra for 2024,
Yes.
and shoot, it's the truth.
I love it. Well, you mentioned Johnny Junta joining us as well. Johnny, how are you doing today?
Doing good. Yeah, I'm alive. I just, like I said, I've been never ending, not sick, but like have a cold or like my throat hurts for like the past month and a half. So I don't know what's happening. I'm a young growing boy, but not sure. I couldn't tell you what's going on with me.
Yeah, it seems like everyone's getting sick. I had one with an episode recently. Johnny had a sick, and then you had a sick. So it seems like everyone's kind of getting sick, but we're powering through it. Like you said, health is wealth.
Yes,
Johnny, I saw you had a bit of trouble this week with a phone number being leaked. Dive into that a little bit. What happened there?
So after the Gossman interview, the Blue Jays' top prospect, like the number one prospect, Ricky Tiedemann, his mom called me to talk with him on the phone. Mm-hmm. And I didn't answer, obviously, because my phone's on Do Not Disturb all the time. And so they recorded her calling me, or him calling me, I guess, and then me not answering. And then my phone number was across the screen on the phone. So when she tweeted it, I didn't really I kind of doxed myself as well. But I retweeted it. I quote tweeted it on like Gate 14 as well as myself. And then I had like 250 phone calls, like 300 texts of people just like spamming my stuff. So I mean, that's what you get with the territory. But when you keep when you're doing the contact game, you keep growing, like people want to talk to you. But it was honestly absurd. Like I blocked every single number that called me. I blocked every single number that texted me.
Oh my goodness.
But like, so they can't do it again and like screw with me if they're like down the road from now, right? So, but there's probably a pretty decent amount of kids out there now that have my number and will probably use this to their advantage at some point. So everyone's just getting a new number. I will not be doing that. I'll be keeping the same number. I'll be riding it strong. So that's number game.
Well, they're all fans, right? So at the end of the day, all these guys supported you and wanted to wish you well. I'm assuming with their phone calls.
Honestly, 99% of it was people just saying like I love you or like answer a face
block
or like
call me again
forever. But then there was like the odd guy like fuck you or just whatever, like Dodger fans or Yankee fans coming at me. But majority of it was like people. That's why I kind of felt guilty blocking. But I had to do it or else like they would probably fuck with me as a joke at some point, and then I wouldn't recognize the number, and I'd think it's something else, so then all goes downhill after that. So I had to block all of them.
That's fair. Well, hopefully you didn't block either of us. It's going to be a great show.
I still get your guys' texts. Just like I still get calls. Like today I got like 10 to 15 more calls of people just randomly spamming my stuff. So it's not going to end for a while. I hope it will, but it won't.
Well, thoughts and prayers to your phone there. We navigate through it, though. I do want to start with some breaking news for the first time in Talking Shit history. As we are recording 10 minutes ago, a topic we discussed a few weeks ago, where Bill Belichick will coach next. Johnny, you were pretty adamant about the Falcons. It seemed like a great fit, was the betting favorite. Falcons signed Raheem Morris, defensive coordinator of the Los Angeles Rams. We just saw the Chargers hire Jim Harbaugh. So the Belichick coaching market seems to be dwindling. And I just wanted to get your immediate thoughts on what's going on with Bill, and if he's going to be coaching next year, where will he be?
Yeah, I know this is a gambling show, obviously. I mean, the Falcons were minus 300. We looked like 3 or 4 days ago at work. Falcons were minus 300. I don't know where he's going to go now. I mean, I know Sports Interaction will probably release his odds at some point, maybe at the end of this week, like tomorrow or Monday. But most of the teams that are left doesn't really make sense besides the Washington Commanders, maybe. The Seahawks don't really make that much sense for Bill Belichick. Commanders obviously do. Titans really don't. They're not really in win now mode. They kind of stink. But yeah, this is a really big head scratcher, to be honest. I don't even really think Raheem Morris is that good, to be honest with you.
Yeah, the Rams' specialty was, their offense, not their defense. So it is weird. You mentioned Commanders. That was my guess a few weeks ago. So it would be nice to finally get something right on this show after my Conor McGregor prediction just got destroyed. But yeah, it's very weird. Like, Sean had mentioned this earlier, where you think Belichick wants to come in with that authoritative figure like he had with the Patriots, where he's controlling coaching, some general manager stuff. His son was on the coaching staff, and he really had control of an organization. Doesn't seem like teams are willing to give him that. That might be the reason why he's still jobless in 2024.
Yeah, I really don't know. Honestly, I thought it was Falcons had the best roster. They're pretty much, honestly, a quarterback away from being good. I mean, their defense is pretty good last year. Their offense, if they didn't have a bum playing quarterback, they probably would have been good. But yeah, honestly, a massive head scratcher. I really don't know where he's going to go now, unless there's a mystery team that is going to fire their coach and pick him up. I really don't know where his options kind of lie besides the Washington Commanders.
Yeah, maybe you mentioned Seattle earlier. I think that would be an interesting one. It is just weird. Someone who's won so much in the sport and been as successful as he is, you would think everyone's, calling his phone like your phone, trying to get him a job as the head coach of the team. But it's weird. His phone's not ringing, and it's very bizarre to see a guy like Belichick be jobless this long. I'd imagine he'll be signed within the next few weeks, maybe after the Super Bowl and the news cycle kind of dumps for a while. But very bizarre, like you said, a head scratcher that the Falcons decided to go with the Rams defensive coordinator instead of one of the most winningest coaches in NFL history. So a head scratcher to start the day for sure.
Yeah. We'll see, man. I don't know. I really don't know. Commanders would be really boring because they are really boring to watch. So
yeah,
I don't know.
For sure. Well, let's switch gears a little bit here. Probably the brightest sports story in Toronto media in a very long time, kind of masking for a lot of the problems going on with the Leafs, a lot of negativity, but let's spread some positive love. Auston Matthews, having the year of his career here, currently at 39 goals in 45 games. He's on pace for 71. An NHL player has not hit 70 goals since 1993 when Teemu Selanne did it with 76, which I think is an absurd number. But I'll pose the question to the group here. It's been debated in sports media for a while now, so I'd love to get your takes on it. Will Auston Matthews be the first Leaf ever and the first time in 30 years for an NHL player to hit 70 goals?
Yes.
Yes. We want to see it, right? The odds are in his favor. He's on pace for 71, but I don't know. It feels like odds makers don't feel the same way. So what do you think, Johnny?
I think he hit 70, man. I tweeted this and caught some flack for it. I think, honestly, he's the greatest Auston Matthews is the greatest Toronto sports athlete ever. Like, just in terms of being.
Wow.
Everyone was talking about, everyone of my mentions was saying Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi was here for
Here we go.
Kawhi was here for a year, though. Like, Auston Matthews has the longevity.
But Kawhi won.
He's been here for, that doesn't matter because it's a team sport. Like, I'm talking in terms of just the greatest, most dominant athlete in Toronto sports history.
But that's the thing. The team won. Austin's out here doing the whole thing individually, but the team ain't winning anything, Johnny.
It's not his fault. I promise you that. This dude is literally the reason they win hockey games this year. Yesterday, he was the only goal scorer. Against Calgary Flames, he had 3. If he scores, there's obviously a really good chance they win the hockey game. I truly think if he puts up 70 this year, he is the greatest Toronto sports athlete ever. Most dominant Toronto sports athlete.
Who else is up there, guys? Let's get some names.
Would Joe Carter be up there for what he did for the Jays?
I'm a Jays guy. I wouldn't put him up there, to be honest. Like, he doesn't really, I don't think he has any MVPs.
Sebastian Giovinco, anyone?
No.
Not a bad shout. He had a lot of goals too.
No.
Like, honestly, I guess
Kawhi is probably the only other name, because it's like, at least in recent memory, one of the most dominant players, to come to the Raptors in a very long time, brought us a championship, which is, never been seen in Raptor history. So I understand the argument for Kawhi, but like you said, he was only here for a season. But to Sarah's point, he won.
He was here against his will. I'm talking about, obviously the fact that a guy wants to be here, right? Like, that has to play some sort of factor.
I want to be here too if you're paying me that much.
You can't take a guy that was here for 1 year to be the greatest Toronto sports athlete ever. That's outlandish. Auston Matthews has done his entire career. He's going to be a Leaf probably his entire career. And
so he's going to never win a goddamn trophy, but break all these individual.
Yeah, if he continues to dominate scoring records, but let's say in the duration of his contract here or his time in Toronto, they don't win. Is that still a valid argument?
Yeah, I still think it is. I mean, this guy, obviously he's on pace. He's putting up Ovi numbers, and Ovi early part of his career. Ovi might break the NHL scoring record. if Matthews comes close to Gretzky's scoring record, which honestly he's on pace to do, this guy just scores so many goals. I don't know how you make the argument that he's not the greatest Toronto sports athlete ever. I don't know how you say that. I really don't.
That's fair. I think maybe the reason for the pushback is because it's early in his career. But yeah, I think if he breaks Ovechkin, or if Ovechkin breaks Gretzky's record and Matthews breaks Ovechkin's record, it's hard to argue. But Sarah, to your point, like winning is very important. And so, Kawhi did it. So I can see why.
I get both sides. I know what Johnny's saying. He's about like the longevity, like what he actually means to the city. Like everything he does, he seems more like a Torontonian than, let's say, Kawhi, because Kawhi was in and out. There's questions about how much he really wanted to be here. But Kawhi still did the damn thing with the team and won. And no Torontonian is ever going to forget that. So I think it's just like they're very, very different. Is Auston Matthews the Harry Kane of hockey? Am I realizing this
Harry
now?
Kane's the greatest Tottenham player, like one of the greatest Tottenham goal scorers of all time, right? Like
that's what I'm putting everything together, and he's never won a trophy for England, for Spurs, maybe not even for Bayern Munich this year. Good God.
Matthews, 338 goals in 526 games. There is no reason he can't come at least close to that goal record and do it all as a Toronto Maple Leaf. There's no reason he can't do that.
Okay, wait. So now this makes me think, guys. If Auston Matthews does break this record, let's say he scores 70 goals this season, and the Leafs still don't win, what the hell does this mean for the Toronto Maple Leafs, where you have a player scoring 70 goals in a season? It hasn't been done in how many years, you said?
30.
30 years. What the heck are they going to do now? Because that's insane. That's basically like saying, like, you got the best. Is he the best player in the league? He's one of them, right?
Definitely top three.
Right?
Like McKinnon right now is the leader in points.
Isn't your one that's at the Oilers just absolutely eating it?
McDavid, yeah. He's not having the best statistical year of his career, but yeah, like passes the eye test. You watch him play, right?
Auston Matthews is top 3 right now. Fair to say?
Yeah.
So how the hell are the Leafs, like, what's going to happen, guys, if that happens? That's more of the bigger picture here.
Well, it speaks to Johnny's point about one player in hockey can't carry a team in the way one player can carry a team in basketball. So the argument for Kawhi is that—
Don't do that to the rest of those players on that team.
No, they're not
doing that to Marc Gasol right now. I'm not having it.
Way better depth than the Leafs have. I mean, you look at the Leafs like third, fourth line. You got Max Domi, who has 1 goal since, I believe, like January 1st, I want to say. You have Tyler Bertuzzi, who's been honestly ghost.
Terrible.
Like, you don't really have, like, the Leafs screw themselves by paying 4 guys. 60,
well, I was going to say, is that the issue? Is that they put all their money into these guys, and now, like, the rest of their lineup is just mid as fuck?
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because this is kind of the situation Ovechkin was in for a while, where he was scoring league-leading NHL goals every season, but he never won a championship. And then eventually he stuck around, and the Capitals did win a championship, and all those naysayers on him were kind of wiped.
Yeah, you put that into the universe.
So I'm not saying it. I won't say it, but it's just like that is what's going to be held on his shoulders and the Leafs' shoulders. Like Sarah said, if he does score 70 this year and the Leafs get bounced in the first round, is anyone going to be talking about him scoring 70, or is it the Leafs getting bounced in the first round?
That's nuts.
I think, yeah, it's hard to discount 70 goals, man. That's absolutely insane. It's something Ovechkin has never done. And I'm not a math guy, but I'm pretty sure right now, on paper, Matthews is on pace to have more goals than Ovechkin at this point. At Ovechkin's point of his career right now.
I think so, yeah. Like,
so
right now he's on pace for 71, right? So as long as he doesn't slow down this season, he should hit it. But again, what does it mean if there's no success attached to it beyond the regular season?
Yeah. I don't know. That's not good.
Well, it's funny because, like, the Leafs, the Cup, that's kind of something that we talk about a lot, but it seems like a lot of other Canadian teams have crept their way into this discussion this year and have probably passed the Leafs in this discussion. We got 4 Canadian teams right now in playoff position. Celine did a great video on this yesterday on our Sports Interaction social accounts, previewing kind of the 4 teams we have remaining right now. You got the Winnipeg Jets, who last night played really well against the Leafs. They lost, but they've been lights out this season despite a few injuries. The Oilers, the hottest team in the NHL, currently on one of the greatest win streaks we've seen in a very long time. You have the Canucks, who are first in the league. So with those 4 teams, Leafs included, who do you guys think would be that Canadian team that can carry that torch and make it the furthest this season and potentially win?
Man, it's hard to discount the Oilers. They're about to break an NHL record. I mean, tonight they're going to win. Obviously, they're minus 600 against Chicago Blackhawks, so that's a win. Oilers have finally figured out, since they hired Paul Coffey to be their defense coach, one of the best defensive teams in the NHL. Like you mentioned, Connor McDavid's not really even playing his best brand of hockey. Last time he had 2 points in a game was January 2nd, I want to say.
Wow, stats today. I like it.
Yeah, so I do think right now the Oilers are best suited because they have one of the best players maybe ever on their team who's not even performing, and they're playing as well as they are, especially with the addition now of Corey Perry as well. So good goaltending, defense, and their forwards are firing on all cylinders, and they get to add Corey Perry.
How crazy is that, eh? Gets dumped from one of the worst teams in the league, and then the hottest team in the NHL calls you, hey, do you want to come play for us? Like, of course you're saying yeah, and to see Corey Perry go to another playoff contender as a Leafs fan, it's hard to stomach for sure.
Yeah.
Because this was a guy that, you know, when he was on the Habs, they hurt us in the playoffs. When he was on the Tampa Bay Lightning, they hurt us in the playoffs. And then a guy that I saw the, you know, Twitter sphere, believe what you believe, rumors that he might come here. And now he's in Edmonton. So he's always been around, and, you know, a Leaf fan, I'd love to have him, but what an addition for Edmonton as they make a playoff run here.
Yeah. I love watching the Oilers, man. They're just gritty. Stuart Skinner looks really good. The Jets, I mean, you can make an argument for the Jets as well, obviously. I mean, yesterday was a tough game playing in Toronto. I mean, Samson almost played the best game of his life yesterday. So, yeah, I think it's Oilers or Jets, personally. I think the Canucks right now have a lot of puck luck. But yeah, I think it's the Jets or the Oilers.
I would throw the Canucks in there, show some love to the West Coast. I feel like nobody really expected them to be playing this well, which is why I think they're doing so well. There's no real pressure, right? They're kind of playing with house money. You look at the, you know, goalie leaders, forward leaders, defenseman leaders. They have someone everywhere. Quinn Hughes, Thatcher Demko, Pedersen, Brock Besser. Like, they're dominating the statistics. So when you do get to playoffs, as we've seen with Toronto, the stars don't show up, and that's what you need to do in the playoffs. So like you said, McDavid's kind of, you know, not playing too well, but once the playoffs come around, you know, he's going to light it up. I think the Canucks have a really good chance here. I think that there's something special there. They made it the furthest in the last few years with Montreal. Remember, they made the Cup. What was it? 2011. The Canucks made it when they played Boston. So yeah, there's that history there.
Oh,
yeah. The fans obviously want to remember the riots when they lost. Like, people were losing their minds. So that culture is definitely hungry for another Cup run. And I just think the, you know, individual performances, we talk about how one player can't carry a team, but you have an elite goalie, you have an elite defenseman, you have some elite forwards. I wouldn't sleep on the Canucks to make it to the Cup finals this year and potentially take it all home.
You think a Canadian team is going to win the whole damn thing?
I hope so. Like, I'm kind of sick of it.
I'm not. I'm hope so. Do you think? Like, realistically, Johnny?
You can make the argument right now. They look the best. Obviously, the Jets look insane. The thing about the Canucks is the advanced analytics for the Canucks says that they're due for a lot of regression. Like, their expected goals per game are nowhere near what their actual score. Like, for example, that Leaf game on Saturday, their expected goals at one point was 0.74, and they had 4 goals. Like, they're riding a lot of puck luck. Can that be sustained for an entire season? Yeah, a lot of the times it can. But I think the best suited team right now is probably the Oilers. And like I said, they have one of the best players in the world. So it's hard to make an argument against them. But the odds are obviously against Canadians, there's way less teams, right?
Yeah, fair play.
Advanced analytics. I like it today. We got all the stats coming through. I love it. I can't answer your question. I hope so, but I don't know. Like, it's been 30 years. What makes this year any different? It feels different because you're seeing teams this good, but it's January, right? If you ask me in April, I guess we can revisit that, but I hope so. I don't know if it'll be the Leafs. It's funny because, you know, that was the team for a few years in the playoffs, but now it's like, I don't know. You got Colorado, you got Boston, Florida's playing lights out. So I'm going to say no.
Damn.
I'm going to say no.
All right, then.
Hopefully it's not in the clip, but I'm going to say no.
Clip it.
I mean, if there's a year, it's this year, but I don't know if this is the year. But
shoot.
That's enough for hockey for now. Let's dive into some soccer.
Yes, please.
Premier League. We're about halfway through.
We just passed the halfway
Just
mark.
past the halfway point.
Match day 22
I wanted
week.
to. What's that?
Huh?
I just wanted to get this feel for you guys. it's kind of where I kind of want to start chiming in. We said my New Year's resolution was start watching more soccer. So kind of seeing these games in the standings right now, I'd love to get your takes on the Premier League season so far and some mid-season predictions of who's taking it home.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's still difficult to not say Manchester City. I don't know about you, Johnny, but this team is stacked. Kevin De Bruyne
He's
comes
insane.
back. This guy is made of just magical juice. He comes back after 5 months, scores like 3 minutes onto the pitch. It was insane. This guy is a boss. His soccer IQ, different. And City once again look like the City that they've been, but now they got like the most important player on the pitch. It doesn't even matter if Holland's not playing. I don't know how you feel, Johnny, but like it does not even matter if Holland's injured. KDB is back. This team is looking crazy.
Yeah, they're the best team in the world, and like one of the best goal scorers in the entire sport isn't even playing. Like, I don't know how you can make the argument. The odds are terrible, by the way. For them.
Yeah, they're a minus
really,
favorite right now to win the whole thing. So
like, it's not even really worth betting. I'd probably be more comfortable taking them to win Champions League instead. But yeah, they're the best team in the world. Like, it honestly isn't even really close. I guess you can make the argument Real Madrid, but it's just this team is insane. And they did it. They've been doing it this year without KDB. Like you said, he just got back. First Premier League game he gets back in, he gets an assist, or he scores the game-tying goal and then assists on the winner. So it's just, this guy is not human. Maybe one of the best players in the world, I'd probably argue.
Yeah.
If not the best player in the world. And they have him and they have Holland when Holland comes back. So it's not even fair. I think I'd probably be more comfortable not taking them to win the Premier League, but taking them to win the Champions League at plus 200. I know it's terrible odds as well to win the Champions League.
Yeah.
Happen, but you have to take them to win the Champions League. That's way better odds.
I think the other argument for the Prem is probably Liverpool. But listen, we saw Mohamed Salah, their best player, 14 goals in the Prem this season so far. He's back. He's got the spice, potentially his last season at Liverpool. Go down with an injury, playing for Egypt at AFCON. Rumors are that he's back to Liverpool now, getting rehabilitation. But then, depending on his health, he might be fit enough to play in a couple weeks if Egypt do make it to the finals, and then he'd fly back. Lots of playing time for this guy. But I don't know if Liverpool can step up the players around him and score by committee. 14 goals is a lot of goals here. You got Darwin Nunez, who has the XG of like 10, but can't get any goals. And then, yeah, Diogo Jota, you got Luis Diaz, but these guys all have to step their game up. I just don't know without Mo Salah if Liverpool can do it. I think that's how important he is to them. Johnny, what do you think?
No, I agree. I think Darwin Nunez is a flaw. I can't.
You know what I mean with the XG though? His XG is somewhere stupid high. It's like 5 or something in some games. Yeah. Yet he cannot. None.
He misses open nets. He misses open looks. Like, it's really bad.
The open looks are nuts.
I was gonna say, because Liverpool right now is in first by 5 points. So I was wondering, you guys didn't bring up Liverpool. They have the second highest odds to win.
It's Man City, to be honest. It's not even really close. I mean, Man City is just so much better than every other club. I don't know how you don't pick them to win. It's just the odds are so bad. I remember, I want to say 2 or 3 weeks ago when Man City lost 3 in a row, they were plus 100 to win the Premier League. I wish I got it in then.
Yeah, you should have.
Yeah,
one of the reasons they're also 5 points is because Man City are a game behind. They have to play next. They have a game in hand.
Oh,
so if you assume that they're going to win that game, they go right up to 46 points, 2 points behind Liverpool, and it's a 1-game decision. Okay. It's not enough to separate them. It's not enough right now. So this is kind of the point, though, in the Premier League, actually in most like major leagues in football, like you can say it in the City as well. Like February, deciding factor. January window, you might bring some new players. You might loan some players out. But this is where the injuries pick up. This is really where you see the grinta come out from players because it gets tiring. Players get exhausted. Like, this is really where the work starts. Champions League rolls back in. So this is really like make or break for football right now. It gets nice. It gets spicy.
This may be a silly question, but do Premier League and Champions League games count for each other? Like,
no,
you lose.
No, they're completely different leagues.
Okay.
Yeah, so
like, they're playing at the same time though, but it's like 2 separate tournaments.
So Champions League's games are Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and then the Prem games are anywhere from Friday to Monday, but they'll usually be a Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah.
So how many games does a team play a week? Like 3?
Oh, yeah. Recently you can play 3.
Wow.
They try to make it 2, but like Carabao Cup was all again this week. I saw Chelsea beating Middlesbrough, and now they play again tomorrow in the FA Cup. Like, it's nuts. These players they're going through the motions. We talk about how crazy it is
Well,
that
then AFCON too, right? So like, is there like
so
in
the
theory you're
players that
playing
have
3
gone to
times?
AFCON are not playing any of these games because
Oh,
they've gone to the Ivory Coast where it's being held.
okay.
So they're at international duty. So they're missing all their club football game. But yeah, if you're like, for example, if you're like some of these teams, you have a domestic cup, Premier League, then you have the league, then you have a domestic cup, which is like FA Cup. Then there's another one called the EFL Cup. Then there's Champions League potentially. Like it's
That's crazy.
nuts. Like it's people don't realize like the carousel never stops spinning in the world of football.
Interesting.
Truly. Yeah.
I do like the
Interesting.
fact that it sucks for them, but there's really no off season for
No,
soccer.
I know. There's no off season for us either. Trust me. We got the Euros coming. We got the Copa America in June, and then right back into the preseason.
Wow.
It rocks. I mean, it sucks for their bodies are fucked, but
Yeah. Well, honestly, like I will say as well, like working in sports now, especially covering like football, I realized there's no like great time to go on holiday because truly, like there's an international tournament almost every summer now, and the seasons run so late and start so early that like you don't really there's not like a great time. You will miss football if you go on holiday. Like that's how much football there is.
Is there like a window where it's like I can skip these games? These aren't that important, or is it like
Yeah, you got to pick and choose. Like in the summer is probably the best.
yeah.
Hoping that there's but like this summer, for example, we have the Euros and Copa America starting on June 20th, going until July 20th.
Mhm.
So anywhere after July 20th until like the second week of August, there's maybe 3 weeks. That's your window. Otherwise, like you will be missing games and you just have to miss your games or
Huh.
watch them over wherever you're watching.
What about the years there's no like Euros or World Cup like those?
So next year's the Olympics.
Oh, right.
Then we
So
have a World Cup.
oh, so there every year there's I see.
They have played us.
That's crazy. No wonder they're so global.
Yeah,
They don't
it's
stop.
nuts. No, it's crazy.
They don't stop. Yeah, I'm sitting here like there's only 3 NFL games left this season. So I'm trying to figure out like
The time
what do you do
off
on
you
what do you
guys
do on
have?
Sundays? Like what
Don't
do
you
what do you
guys-
do?
When does the NFL preseason start? September? August?
Training camp is
August.
August. Yeah,
Okay.
so August they
So
go
you
back.
have full March, April, May, June, July. 5 whole months
I know
where
it's
the sport doesn't even touch.
awful.
Crazy.
You get the draft in what April, so they tease you a little bit with like here's what's to come,
Sure.
and then free agency is kind of like a thing for like a few weeks, but there's no actual games, right? It's just more like
Yeah.
following along on social. But yeah, every other sport I guess has that like holiday season of like whatever, we're just not playing, we're just hanging out, and there isn't as like someone who covers like football, it's like hard to what do you do now? Like what kind of content do you make now? Because it's like there's no more NFL, but I think that's where that gap of soccer, maybe that's why it's so popular because it's like they never stop.
Never
Like
sleep.
UFC, same thing. They never stop all year round. You're just going to keep going and keep pumping out new content. So it is very fascinating. I didn't know that they had that many tournaments overlapping at once and there's really no off season. So I'm guessing your vacation this year is booked for end of July, August time, or
You got to go when you got to go.
you got to
That's how I look at it. As long as it's not like big things like finals, tournaments, like the Copa America or the Euros. I'm actually trying to go to both of them. We'll see.
Okay. So would that be work or is that a vacation or both?
Let's see. I gotta get tickets first. But you have to like enter a raffle to even get like
Oh,
it's
shit.
it's a nightmare. Like it's so global. Like even securing a ticket is an absolute like just it's vigorous.
Interesting. Johnny, you going to an Arsenal game in
No,
UK?
no, we're too close to baseball season right now. Yeah.
Wait, when are you going to the UK?
I don't know. Hopefully next year. Like, we already just booked a trip for spring training for end of February. So we're just worried about that right now. And then we're doing Blue Jays first. All the trips we plan are just Blue Jay stuff right now. So
That's fun.
that's
So
kind
when
of
you say you're at spring training, like, are you guys like doing media, like interviewing players, like breaking down stuff?
Schedule some stuff with some guys. Like we have a house. Like they're like we're gonna golf with a couple guys, dinner with a couple guys, and then probably like do podcasts and stuff at our Airbnb that we have. So we have some
That's
stuff.
awesome.
That's cool.
That'll be so
So
fun.
it's not like it's a vacation kind of, but like more so a work trip.
Yeah, it's majority of the time. We'll be working probably majority of the time. Yeah.
Where are you? Where is preseason in Florida?
Dunedin, yeah.
Oh,
Where is that in relation to like the major cities in Florida?
Like 20 minutes from Tampa.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice. Okay, so it's hat.
Yeah.
Or hot enough.
Is
Yeah.
it like a happening town, Dunedin? Like, have you ever been? Or?
Okay, so say the
It's like
town,
retired people.
Dunedin, no chance.
Dunedin, is it
no
happening?
chance. I don't even need
No?
Johnny to answer. There's no way. Well, let's go on the bachelor trip, guys. We're going Dunedin.
Dunedin.
Yeah. No way.
Some freaks would want to do that. Some Jays fans. I wouldn't, but yeah. They would like to go on a bachelor's trip at the Jays games. I will say that. Or Dunedin, I guess, spring training. Could it
That's so
be?
funny.
But some guys will like to do that.
Interesting. So there's no Paris, Texas in Dunedin.
No, I
Oh,
don't know
there's
where-
many of them.
I'm gonna be busy probably. I'll probably be like I said, we have so much stuff. We have a couple players that we're really close with. We're gonna do like a little fun joke sleepover video with them.
That's so
That's cool.
fun. That's
That's
great
cool.
content.
Yeah, like we got some stuff like golfing.
You guys gonna braid each other's hair too?
I don't know what we're gonna do. It's gonna be funny though, but it's all the young guys, so we'll see what happens. I'm excited for it.
That's
dope.
awesome.
That's dope. No, I'm happy to hear that. I do want to go back to Premier League for 1 second. We talked about who's winning the league, who's getting relegated, like who's getting the boot after this
Sorry,
season.
Sheffield. Sorry.
Disappointing
Yeah,
stuff.
Sheffield's
Sheffield?
done
They
for sure.
They're-
Burnley done. And no, I think Forest is staying up. I think Forest is gonna. Who am I missing here?
Well, the thing is look at the odds here. I mean,
Yeah. Well, what's
The two
Sports
you
Interact-
named are the top two to get relegated.
Yeah. So
Very high odds. Luton
And-
Town. Luton-
Luton.
Luton Town, I knew I
Oh
pronounced that
God,
wrong.
I need Luton to stay up just for
They're
fucking
the
kicks.
third highest to get relegated.
What are our odds here? What are we all working in
Nottingham
negatives?
Forest is plus 187.
No, Forest is staying up.
Sheffield is minus 1400, so it
Yeah,
seems like
there's
that's
no
a
point
formality.
betting any of these three. They're all. It's too late in the season to these three teams are going to get relegated. So
Yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky. Can I see the odds? Can you
Yeah,
just
sure. Take that over there.
Thank you.
Burnley
Is Ryan Reynolds' team in this league? Is that
No, man. It's
I'm
like
a casual. Is that
5
his team in
leagues
this?
down.
No? Okay.
Wrexham.
I watched that documentary and I wasn't sure.
Yeah,
if
no,
they
they're
were
not
there.
even close to the Premier League.
Oh, okay. Because that
Burnley
doc
team
made it
that's
seem
gonna
like
get
they're a top
relegated,
tier team.
That's TJ Watt's team.
TJ Watt owns them too?
He's like a co-owner for Burnley. Yeah, they're going to get relegated.
Okay, they're going to get relegated.
Nice.
So looking at the odds there, any surprises you see?
I'm just going through some
any
of
little
them.
nuggets you can give viewers here? Who do you think makes some plus money on getting eliminated?
So it's not with the relegation anyways. I think I agree with Johnny. Like Forest, I think is gonna stay up and they're plus 188. Like it's not the best either way,
All
Yeah.
these, there's not even worth betting, to be honest, because it's maybe sprinkle Forest, but I still they're better than those three teams. So
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. It's tricky right now. I think you gotta look at maybe where the teams finish, like top 4 finishes I saw.
Yeah,
You
they
could
got
look
top
at goal
6,
scorers.
top 10,
Like,
couple different things.
yeah.
Top goal scorer right now is Haaland minus 300, so doesn't seem
Yeah.
like anyone's passing him.
I mean, what was Salah there? He was plus money, right?
Plus 350, but I mean, you just said he's hurt, right? So he might not even
That's
play.
the only thing. But I'm curious, right now they're both on 14. Oh, there's no way. It's gonna be Holland.
The only one that I take, and this isn't the Premier League, it's Serie A. It's Juve to win Serie A.
No, Inter
look
winning
at
the
that.
Serie A this year.
Juve,
Come
honestly, I
on,
think Juve's better than them, honestly. I truly do think.
bro. I can't.
Juve's
even
at plus
watch-
money, so plus
Juve's
175.
5 on Sports Interaction right now.
Yeah.
I think they're 1 point back of Inter. With kind of similar schedules. I think they play each other one more time.
Yeah. No, you guys are 1 point.
They're
Yeah,
1
you're
point up right now, actually,
you're
but
1
one
point
game
ahead.
in hand.
Yeah, 1 game in hand. Juve's on a heater right now. Dusan Vlahovic is I don't know if you can bet top goal scorers in this. No, you can't.
We can make, yeah,
The
you can.
thing is, Inter is also still in the Champions League, right? So that could be advantageous for Juve, right?
Dusan is minus 125 top goal scorer, right? Or is that minus 250?
No, minus 120. Yeah, you got it right. You got it
You
right.
can bet Dusan top goal scorer on minus 125. He's playing the best football he's ever played at Juve right now. So
You're taking him to be the top goal scorer in the Serie A
it's
over
without
Romelu Lukaku and Lautaro Martinez?
No, it doesn't count him. He's already out.
They
already
said without Martinez, so I don't know what happened to him.
Oh,
Is he like that good or is he hurt or something?
no,
he's-
he's that good.
Oh, he's that good.
goals, so they're not going to count him because I'm assuming the odds would just be terrible.
That's
So they-
hilarious.
Can I see the odds again for
Yeah,
this?
so that's funny. They don't have a guy's name because he's that far ahead. They might be doing that with Matthews
Yo,
pretty soon. That's pretty
I would
funny.
Everyone at home. Hammer, Romelu Lukaku,
Oh,
top goal scorer, plus 250.
oh,
He's been unbelievable this year. I'm liking
look
that.
at
Go.
that.
Roma need to
They got new.
sorry, they need to come back after sacking Mourinho. They're going through a bit of a bump right now, but maybe Lukaku could be that guy. Listen, I'm looking for value here, Johnny. Where
Yeah.
Lukaku's been on a heater this season. I wouldn't mind a little
The
sprinkle.
passion in there, like you got to believe it, right?
No, truly, he's been great though. He's the only reason Roma are even where they are. Him and Dybala. The rest of them are miserable.
I like it.
Yeah.
Plus money picks. I like it.
Plus money picks.
I love it. Well, that's good. I mean, it's probably the most soccer talk we've ever had on this show.
I
which
know.
Is,
Let's
is
do
good.
it more. It's
2024.
not like it's on for the entire calendar year.
Well, it's heating up. I figure we'll probably be talking about it more with the Champions League coming up, Premier
The
League
Champions
going.
League, what? We got 3
Euro.
weeks till round of 16?
So it's 3 weeks till we bet against Barca.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I think
Might need to get you in the
no,
locker
but
room for one of
Napoli,
those.
our Napoli. What are the odds for that game? Pull that up because I was gonna say there's no way Napoli can be like. I don't think
It's the data
it's
show.
gonna be a great. It's gonna be like too much to bet on. Is what I'm trying to say. Jesus.
Barca is minus 185. So
What's Napoli?
No.
plus 130.
Yeah, but no, I know, but I'm saying Napoli's plus 30, Johnny. Like it's not that much yet. You gotta wait for something crazy if they sack Xavi or something.
Well, Napoli's plus 175 3-way right now, and
Yeah.
Barcelona's plus 145.
There you go.
And
don't these always go into extra time, right? These dramatic games, or I would hope
they just draw. But yeah, like I said, I will be betting against Barcelona.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's like this game has the possibility to be one of the most exciting games in football when you hear Barcelona and Napoli, but these two teams this season have both been so underwhelming. Like, look at Napoli after last season. They've been miserable too. Like, it's going to be like a 1-0 in the 88th. God, it's going to be miserable. It's honestly probably going to be Napoli right now. I'll be honest with you. Barcelona don't have anything that make me, besides Lamine Yamal, think that they can get past this team. Who knows? Who knows? But then Napoli are also losing crazy games. Wow. That's the thing. I think this game is going to be it's the hottest game of the round of 16 based on the names, but it's probably going to be one of the worst based on the football.
Yeah.
God, it's tough being a Barca fan.
Yeah. Well, if you do draw no bet, so just regular time, Barca's minus 135, so a little bit better.
There you
better
go.
Value. If you don't think we're going to penalties,
Go for the under in that game. Just
okay. There we go.
There you go.
Handing out picks. Well, we will revisit these around the time. We still have.
Yeah, we'll come up with me and Johnny will do a big UCL parlay.
Yeah, let's do that. February 21st. So we've got almost just under a month to get there. So
all right,
things could happen, things could change, but yeah, it's good. We got some soccer in there and a lot of bets. So if you're a soccer fan, you like making money. I mean, these two seem to know a thing or two. I'll certainly be looking at that. I do want to switch gears to the other type of football, American football. NFL playoffs wrapping up. We talked about it. It's a sad time. It's a good time for great football, but only 3 games left this season at the time of recording, right before the AFC NFC championship games. So I'm sure we'll dive into the Super Bowl next week, kind of give our expectations for that, some props, some fun stuff with all that. But I kind of want to look back on the NFL season and just see, Johnny, I'll go to you first. What team or player was most surprising to you this season in a good or bad way?
Probably Baker Mayfield. He looked absolutely terrible last year on the Carolina Panthers. Sorry. I don't even think, did they win? They won 1 game last year, I want to say. 2 games?
2 games, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he goes from that team to a Bucs team that was projected to be the worst team in their division, takes them to the playoffs, wins a playoff game, and then makes it to the second round and almost beats the Lions. So, yeah, I like what I saw from Baker Mayfield. Obviously, he's earned himself a contract now, but he's been the surprise player because everyone counted him out. Obviously, he was a free agent as well. Went to the Rams for just when Matt Stafford got hurt when they sucked. So, yeah, it's probably Baker Mayfield for me.
That's a good shout. It's funny, yeah, because a lot of people thought, all right, Tom Brady's gone, Bucs are done, lottery team, poverty franchise, but Baker comes in and they go further in the playoffs with him than they did with Brady last year, winning a game. And like you said, it's pretty much the same team on paper as it was the year prior, just new quarterback. But yeah, Baker, I think, definitely exceeded everyone's expectations. He's one of those guys that I think a lot of people hate on him for because he went number 1 over, or he didn't go number 1. I'm not sure, but he went pretty high in the draft. And, he had a lot of naysayers. He had some attitude stuff in college and all that. But as much as he has a lot of hate, like it seems like he really gets motivated by that stuff, like the woke up feeling dangerous. And, he's a fun guy to root for. A lot of people bet against him, but the Buccaneers have been a pretty profitable team for people when it comes to sports betting. They upset the Eagles and they almost covered against the Lions. So I like that shout with Baker. I don't know if he's got comeback player of the year. Obviously, you got DeMar Hamlin, you got Joe Flacco and all that, but he did have a great season. That's definitely a surprising team and definitely a player for sure.
Yeah, has to be Baker, man.
I would say probably leaning a rookie, Puka Nacua. I think he's someone that exceeded a lot of expectations. So rookie wide receiver for the Rams, drafted in the 5th round. So a lot of people say CJ Stroud was the rookie of the year, undoubtedly, and he had a great season, but he went number 2 overall. So when you go that high, a lot of people expect you to be that good. Maybe not right away, but they expect you to be that good. So when you get drafted in the 5th round and you're the best rookie wide receiver in a class that had a lot of guys go in the 1st round, breaks the franchise record, breaks the NFL rookie record, I believe, for yards and receptions, and pretty much helped the Rams get to the playoffs. I think Puka Nacua should win rookie of the year over CJ Stroud because of how surprising his season was.
I agree. Puka Nacua was, you said, 6th rounder, right? I think.
5th round, I believe.
Rounder. Yeah, I agree. I think Puka Nacua was insane, man. Made the Rams offense, which was obviously a little bit aging and depleting, look really good. So I definitely make the case for Puka Nacua as well.
And that's a dope name too. Like some of these guys, like I don't know how athletes always end up with the coolest names, like Puka Nacua. Like you see that name before the season. Like I play a lot of fantasy football. I remember seeing that name, like, oh, that's a funny name. And you just kind of keep scrolling. And then did he do it again? Oh, he did it again. Oh, he did it again. And now all of a sudden he's one of the best receivers in the league and definitely a household name. Like I just don't understand how NFL players or athletes in general always have the coolest names.
They really do.
You think about like DeAndre Swift. Like how cool is a running back's last name whose position is you excel being fast? His last name's Swift. Like some of that's just, you can't make it up, but, or Kool-Aid McKinstry is a name. That's a real name for this year's draft.
That's crazy.
Someone's parents named their kid Kool-Aid and he's going to be a good player too.
It's too easy. Don't say it.
We could do like a whole show on funny athlete names, but yeah, I think Puka, funny name, but top tier wide receiver, going to be a force to be reckoned with. As long as he has Stafford at QB, Stafford's going to be slinging it. He's going to probably have a really great career. He's off to a great start. And I know the odds makers have Stroud as rookie of the year. All the people say, Stroud did this, Stroud did that. I think Nacua did that despite zero expectations of it. So I believe Nacua should be rookie of the year. And he was my pick for most surprising player.
I like that.
Anything surprise you this season, Sarah, in the NFL?
No, you know what? I was just thinking that as well. And I'm like, here we are again. Here the Chiefs are again. I feel like it's just last year 2.0.
Repeat.
We're just running it back. And they're probably gonna win again. And Patrick Mahomes is just gonna be here being like, yep, surprise. It just feels like it's crazy. Like first of all, I just feel like this year has flown, but I think that's another reason to why it's like I was just here, wasn't I? And so was Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, and now they are all here. And your man that looks like Kentucky Fried Chicken, Colonel Sanders. What's their coach?
Andy Reid.
Andy Reid?
Yeah, your old one. That's
where are you going with that? Yeah, Andy Reid, yeah.
Yeah. He looks like the Colonel Sanders.
He does.
Yeah. Yeah, anyways, like it just feels like kind of like, not too much
history repeating itself, right?
Yeah.
It's like the feeling we had when Brady was there for the Patriots. Like every year, Patriots are going to be in the championship game. Patriots will make the Super Bowl. They'll win, they lose. Same thing with Mahomes, it feels like. He's only 28. He's been, 5 championship games?
Has he won 2 or 3?
He's won 2.
So
this year would be 3.
And he's gone
to
to like how many?
They lost 1 to the Buccaneers.
Yeah, exactly, to Tom.
Yeah, to Brady, yeah. So
and then he also made it to
I think 5 championship games.
Yeah, like so that it's just
it's
like
nuts.
I saw this stat about him the other day and I was like, what the hell? This guy's 28. Like, what a career he's already had. If he were to finish playing football right now, like he'd still go down as one of the greatest to ever do it. Like, it's nuts.
Probably.
He's inevitable. Like, it's crazy. The guy's unreal. Yeah.
I feel
super annoying, really annoying fan base behind him, like family. Like that kind of sucks. But him himself, talent speaks for itself.
You kind of feel bad for like fans of the Bills, obviously, for what happened. But you think about the AFC was run by Tom Brady and the Patriots for so long. Teams like the Bills, teams like the Dolphins, who were really trying to make their way in the AFC, get shut down by the Patriots. Brady retires. Okay, yes, it's our chance to win the AFC. Psych, Patrick Mahomes is going to come in and do the exact same thing with the Chiefs for probably the foreseeable future. I don't see him ever leaving. I
Dude,
don't
the
see them
Bills
ever
had
not
that
getting
though,
bad.
which is nuts.
Yeah, that was wild.
I don't know what's his name who took that field goal, but like
Tyler Bass.
I don't know how, like, truly certain athletes like that one. How are you going to let that go? Like, that's the kind of stuff that haunts you in your dreams. And it's not his fault. It happens. It totally happens. That's not what I'm saying. But like, how do you live with yourself in a sense? Because it just constantly must be there. Like, how
Oh,
not
yeah.
do you live with yourself, but how do you get over that? Like that's
That's
so
tough.
because if he got it, they would have won, right?
They would have tied the
How many
game.
seconds? Oh, it
There's
was
like a minute
24,
left,
27?
so people will say, "Oh, well, they would have tied it. Chiefs go down the field, score a field goal, it's over." But you're right. Like to
Yeah,
do it
it's
in
true.
Buffalo when this team's on such a hot streak,
Oh, it's tough.
Cinderella story. They weren't going to make it. They make it all the way there. Like, Johnny, what was your reaction when you saw a missed field goal?
Just that's the Bills' luck, man. They're like the Leafs.
That's so Bills.
And it went wide right, which is how they lost the Super Bowl, I think 21 years ago today. But yeah, that's just the Bills. That's the Bills' luck. I knew that was going to happen. But they also had a couple dumb fumbles. The defense couldn't get a stop. It's more than just him, obviously, but it's going to be glorified that it was his fault. But yeah, it was a really bad kick. He just shanked it. There was really no wind.
Yeah, if it was like sailing and then trails off at the end, so close. But you knew right when he kicked that ball, that's going wide. The locker room, Sean had a pretty good reaction. He had the Chiefs. He was pretty hyped. But yeah, I mean, that's just kind of the luck of the draw for Buffalo. They lost 4 straight Super Bowls. I mean, the year before they had the game at home and they got dumped by the Bengals. Like, do you believe in curses in sports? Like, do you think the Bills are cursed or it's just a string of bad luck every single year?
It's hard not to be. It's hard not to believe in curses, man. It really, I mean, Cowboys, Bills, Leafs. Yeah, it's hard to not believe in curses. It really is. Like the Cubs didn't win a World Series for like 100 years. So, yeah.
But they broke it, right? They won a few years back.
Won, so
Yeah.
curses can be
So you
broken,
think like,
folks.
100 years is when the curse is like, all right, I feel bad now. Let them have it, right?
About so you will be alive for the next Leafs win, hopefully.
100 years. Wait, let's do some math here. 67.
67 is 67. It
67.
doesn't matter
I'll
in
be
what millennia.
68. I mean, yeah, that would be cool. Hopefully I'm in able, shape and memory to kind of savor it. But yeah, that would be dope if they win. I hopefully it doesn't take 100 years, but
Well, that's what you just said.
well, it seems like that. Maybe there's an outlier here, but it seems like the Chiefs have a curse on the AFC, and just like you said, winning every year. Just want to give a shout out to Sean. He called it on this show in December. He said, "Don't be surprised if we see Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl this year." And we may not. The game's Sunday, but like you said, the Chiefs are inevitable. And we did this whole segment without mentioning She Who Shall Not Be Named, which was pretty cool.
Haven't we done a few of those now?
Well, the fact that we talked about the Chiefs that long and didn't bring her up, I think is pretty cool.
Oh, she. I thought you said he, and I was like, surely not Shohei Ohtani.
No, I mean that old news. That's whatever.
That's what I thought.
We did a whole segment on the Kansas City
end it
Chiefs
on a high.
and didn't bring it up. Name another sports show that can do that. I doubt it. But I appreciate you both for joining us today. Appreciate everyone watching. Subscribe to the Sports Interaction YouTube channel. Follow us all on our social media channels. Follow Sports Interaction. We thank you for watching. Take this betting advice and bet responsibly and locally, and we'll see you next week.
Talking shit.